I found this glass at a Goodwill, tucked among the glassware. It looks similar to a champagne flute, but has a much smaller opening, and a delicate gold band spirals around the outside. It feels elegant, almost like it was meant for something special, perhaps a cordial or liqueur, meant to be sipped slowly. Or maybe it once held a fine perfume, designed for careful pouring. Any ideas what this thing is? This is an oil lamp, but it's missing the wick and wick holder at the top. I found a vintage silver-plated piece with four thin holders, but I'm not sure what it was used for. My friend guessed it might be for candles, but that doesn't seem right. Three of the holders are tilted, and candles in a candelabra are always upright. I don't know much about hallmarks, but I do recognize the silver plate mark. It looks like it had a specific purpose, but I can't quite figure it out. Any idea what it could be? This is called an épergne, which means a centerpiece. It was likely used for flower arrangements and may have originally included fine glass inserts shaped like horns to hold the flowers. I have a large concrete slab in my backyard with an engraved design, but I have no idea what it was used for. It stands about 2 feet tall and is roughly 4 feet long and wide. What makes it even stranger is that there are metal I-beams embedded throughout the slab, suggesting it was built to support something heavy. I've been trying to identify it for months, searching for similar structures online, but nothing quite matches. The engraved design isn't a sundial, and the slab itself has rigid edges, almost like a foundation for something significant. Could it have been the base of an old silo, a piece of industrial equipment, or something else entirely? Any ideas? It looks like it has a drain on one side. My guess is that it's a platform for a basket press. While exploring the Palyasar Peninsula in Tallinn, my friend came across a strange concrete structure, about 5 feet tall, with something hanging from a mesh attached to it. I have no idea what it was used for, and the contents of the mesh are just as mysterious. Does anyone know what it is? The pole is of a type often used on military bases to hold up barbed wire fences. The object hanging from it looks like the remains of a windsock. I picked up this small but heavy metal container at a local thrift store for just $1.50. It has a felt bottom, which makes me think it was meant for a wooden desk, maybe even as a paperweight. The flip-top lid is surprisingly ergonomic, easy to open with one hand, suggesting it was something accessed often. Inside, there's a small cavity, but I can't quite figure out what it was used for. The metal lining is different from the exterior, lighter and non-reflective. I thought it might be an inkwell, but it doesn't match any antique inkwells I've seen online. Any ideas what this thing is? It's an antique pocket ashtray. The cigarette rest may have come off over time. It's not for a votive. Votives weren't a thing until maybe the 60s. This is older than that. A friend of mine found this hand-carved wooden object in our town and posted it on the local listserv, but no one seems to know for sure what it is. It's about 12 inches long and 1.5 inches wide, wedge-shaped, tapering from one end to the other. One side has stepped notches, and there's a hole at one end with twine threaded through it. So far, guesses have ranged from a pot crane to something used to prop open a hatch on a sailboat or a window. Others have suggested it might have been used to secure a whale alongside a ship for processing, or that it could even be a native Passamaquoddy artifact. Any ideas what this thing is? It's a froggy summoner. Run a thick stick across those ridges to summon froggies. One of my local burger spots has a frog statue with a similar shaped back that you run a stick across to make it croak, instead of them having an annoying bell to ring to get the staff's attention. For that reason, I think it's a frog summoner or fun little frog noise device. Bought a new pair of Nike shoes. Inside the box was this small plastic bubble filled with air and what looks like tiny, colorful microplastics. It has a loophole on the top and is about an inch long. At first, I wasn't sure what it was. It seemed like some kind of packaging material, but then I noticed the Nike logo on it. Curious, I tried to open it, but it was sealed tight, like it was meant to stay that way. It didn't make sense to me. Why would they put such a strange thing inside a brand new pair of sneakers? Any idea what it could be? It's microplastics, probably meant to show how Nike is helping to clean up our planet. But at best, it's just greenwashing. Microplastics in a plastic container inside your plastic shoes, made in China, shipped halfway across the world, only for you to toss them in the trash. Eco-friendly. I found an item in an old leather suitcase. It's about 12 centimeters long, and the pincers open when you press down on a red top. The back of the old card container has 02406CHR printed on it. The suitcase is small with several pockets, which makes me think it might have been used for medical tools. The instrument seems to be made of stainless steel and is still in very good condition. I wonder, what could this be used for? It's the olive pickle grabber tongs with red bakelite handles. Pull back on the lever to open it. It also has a hook, allowing you to hang it off the side of a dish or jar. My friend found this key on the ground at work in the hospital. It doesn't match any of the ones he's given. It's made of thin metal with a small slit at the top. He found it near a parking machine, but the parking guy is missing in action. The key slots on the parking machine itself are normal keys, so this one doesn't seem to fit. The backside of the key is the same shiny metal, and there's a circled number 4 on it, but he has no idea what that refers to. Since he works security, he's pretty familiar with every key in the building, so he's pretty sure this must be from a member of the public, but still has no clue what it's for. I'm looked up a bunch of things related to thin metal keys and keys with slits or cuts, but nothing seems to match. Maybe it's not a key at all? The metal is thin enough that it'd probably break if used as a key in most locks. What could this be? It's a jiggler, a lock-picking tool. Unlike a bump key, which is typically destructive and can damage the lock, a jiggle key uses the low quality of the pins to wiggle them open, all while keeping the lock relatively intact. I opened up an old motor I acquired at a garage sale, curious to see what was inside. Took off a part from the top, and to my surprise, there was a sponge and some wires tucked inside. The motor powers a jointer machine, and the whole setup is pretty old. I'm no motor technician, but I noticed some rust underneath and figured I should take a look. The sponge, though, threw me off. Why would there be a sponge in there? Any ideas? It seems to be a soft, cushioned nest that both insulates and holds the capacitor in place, preventing it from rattling around. The cover is designed for the start-or-run capacitor, and the foam is likely there to absorb vibrations and stop it from shaking.